Okay, I have here the Transit 350 wagon, and mine is an XL. And with the XL, you only get this 3-function light. It's off, on with the door, or all the lights on. So I ordered this fancy unit with the map lights. And what I've discovered is when I install it, I lose the ability to control the rear lamps. The rear lamps still function if you open a rear door, but if you just open a front door or try to cycle the switch, I don't have control over the rear lamps. I've traced it down to this signal wire right here. This little connection right here sends a signal, I'm thinking, to the body control module, which also controls the light circuit. So what I'm going to do is pull this out of here. It's pretty simple. You just reach up in here, pull that down. There's a spring on the back, little spring there that holds it in. Now, I've had mine in and out a few times, but you just disconnect the connections. And now I'll take this to the shop and I'll fix it. Okay, I've got the unit here, and we can see this is the off, and this is all the lamps on. And this is the signal here for the rear lamps. Now we need, if you see the little connection here, you see it connects from there to there and provides signal to the rear lamps. Okay, so this is the new unit here. This is the signal to the rear lamps, and this is the circuit here that we need to connect to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna solder a wire onto this pad right here, because it doesn't look like anything is gonna be affected by the heat. And then I'm just gonna solder anywhere on this, and I'll see if I can get it to take. Now, I am certainly no Louis Rossmann, if you know who he is, with a soldering gun. So if I do a terrible job, you're just gonna have to forgive me. This is a $26 part, so if I mess it up, I mess it up. I'd say that's okay. Now I can just leave this long, it doesn't matter. There's nothing but air above this in the console. I think I'm just gonna come around kind of like that. Louis Rossmann is a magician with a soldering gun. Fortunately, I'm not. I want that to kind of stay in position after I've got it down. Try to go right there. I've just got a little spool of solder here. I guess I should show that. And I use some rosin on the tip of the gun, or the soldering iron. And I just have a basic weller here. I like this little stand, and I use a little scrunchy light here. But I think that's good to go. Now we're gonna go to the van and we'll test and see if it works. Okay, welcome back. I've got my modified lamp here. I'm making sure all these bulbs are in here good. Everything looks good. Now what I'm gonna do is just reinstall it. It's pretty simple. When you put this unit in, the wires are on opposite ends, so you kind of have to stretch the harness. But I didn't really have any issue, but at first I did. So we'll go ahead and test the functions. I got both map lights. That's off. That's on. That's off. Okay, so I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna lock the door. Perfect. That's also perfect. Okay, now I'm just gonna finish the reinstallation. Now, this is kind of fidgety. I'm sorry, this is kind of fiddly. I'll just finish putting this in. There's really nothing. All right. I'll show you guys around. Let me put this up out of the way. So if you notice, that's off, that's on. That's door. About the door. Functions. These rear lamps go through a lighting controller. So if you ever have weirdness, if they ever act strange, it's because it's going through a lighting controller. And I have had one or two of the lights just decide to stay on, and I had to restart the van to get it to not do that. I've had this van for almost 4 years now. Okay, I'm gonna say that's working good. Working perfect. Oh boy. I've made the mama wren angry. I will say, I'm a pretty terrible person with solder. So if I do a bad job, please don't be angry.